It is a rather beautiful evening to come shopping for trinkets and tales, my friend. Come, sit by the peddler's fire and let me tell you stories. Pay no attention to the hooded face, just focus on my words. You have heard of Aes Sedai, yes? Across the world, people are talking about that tale that the storyteller Rafe Judkins is narrating. The tale of the Blue Aes Sedai and her stoic companion. Wouldn't you like to know more of their connection? Fear not, I won't spoil your tale without warning. You see, when it comes to Aes Sedai, it is difficult for the common person to separate fact from fiction. Of the few things that are universally agreed upon, two are the most common. An Aes Sedai may be identified by her great serpent ring when she presents it, and that the ever-present companion by her side is surely her warder, bound by magic. You wish to hear more of their bond, yes? Tonight, we will take a look at warders and their mystical bond with the Aes Sedai. The myths, the fiction, the fact. What does the common man know of warders? There are rumors aplenty. Those who have never seen an Aes Sedai or warder in their lives find themselves gossiping about a friend of a friend who found themselves taking the bond. And for everyone that did, it had come as a surprise to them. You will hear of borderlanders and sellswords grumbling at such tales. Supposedly, every sister must ask consent before bonding a man. But if it wasn't part of the 3 oaths, did it really count? Did they really ask permission? Who in their right mind would give up his freedom to trot at an Aes Sedai's heels? What was there to gain from taking such an oath? Ah, yes. I see the question in your eyes. You have wondered if there was something supernatural to be gained from the bond. Well, there are rumors, but the Aes Sedai and warders themselves are quiet about it. But fret not, this traveling peddler has seen the world, heard stories. In fact, I talked to an heiress once that made a remarkable observation. She said meeting a warder's gaze was akin to meeting the eyes of the eagle that she went hawking with. It was a gaze that was not just fierce, but full of self-knowledge, absolutely aware of their own capabilities, their capacity for violence. And yet, it was a violence in restraint, disciplined by their own wills. Your humble peddler himself has seen many a warder in his travels. Tall or short, wide or slim, even quite stout in some cases, every warder I've seen moves with the grace of a hunting leopard. Reflexes faster than a cat's, strength to put a carnivalman to shame. Is such skill and grace natural? You have surely heard of Alan Mandragoran's remarkable prowess in fighting Trollocs. I can tell you how it came to be, but we might be delving deeper into knowledge that's not known to the average folk. This peddler risks life and limb finding such tales for you. If you would fancy gracing him with that subscribe button press, he can keep bringing you tales that will enhance your understanding and enjoyment of the Wheel of Time. But I see the eagerness in your eyes. You wish to hear those closely guarded secrets. Well, huddle close then and listen. Have you noticed how a warder seems to always know what the Aes Sedai is thinking, and vice versa? Yes, I know. You have probably heard that they get powers of telepathy from the bond. But, as it turns out, that is not the case. There was this one time I talked to a White Tower novice, unattended by an Aes Sedai. Of course, I engaged her in conversation. She kept insisting that the Aes Sedai told her that there was no telepathy, but a sister and her bonded warder could sense each other's emotions and physical condition, and each knew exactly where the other was. The little chit of a girl even insisted on repeating the Aes Sedai's words verbatim. When you have had a warder long enough, you will know what he is thinking, and he will know what you are. A matter of interpretation. But wait, there's more. This last bit of knowledge for a valued customer, because what I tell you next is not for the average curator of knowledge. I can't tell you my sources this time, friend, for your own good. But if you truly want to know, let me share with you an excerpt that narrates the true nature of the bonding process from an Aes Sedai's journal. The weave of spirit was one of the most intricate known to Aes Sedai. It wove around him, settled into him, vanished. Suddenly, I was aware of him, in the way that all Aes Sedai are aware of their warders. His emotions were a small knot in the back of my head, all steely hard determination, sharp as his blade's edge. I knew the muted pain of old injuries, tamped down and ignored. I would be able to draw on his strength at need, to find him however far away he was. We were bonded. He would gain gifts such as quick healing, the ability to go long periods without food, water, or rest, and the ability to sense the Dark One's corruption at a distance. Now, my friend, I know you have had questions. You know what they say about the depth of a relationship between warder and Aes Sedai. Surely, you thought, it's an exaggeration. Knowing what you do now, friend, there's something I want you to think on. What makes a warder so loyal? To have another person in your mind could be an intense invasion of privacy. So, what makes them so dedicated? Maybe this will give you some perspective.
Then I started picking on people who could fight back, half hoping they would just put a stop to me. That's when I met Karina.
My dad tried to kill me when I was 12. So, stop your whining. White Tower gave me the first real family I ever had.
Find a man with nothing to live for. Then, give him something to live for. You will have probably the most devoted, if not fanatical follower humanly possible. Is it manipulation? Probably. Does it help men in need? Surely. Walking the lines of grey have always been the calling for most Aes Sedai. Then, of course, there are those that seek out the bond willingly and meet an Aes Sedai's needs. Now you know the truth. Imagine being not one but two people in your mind, for the bond goes both ways. Knowing your other half more intimately than any other mortal mind can ever imagine. Accepting the other as a part of you over decades, and then a void. Half of you is gone, silenced forever, ripped away. Do you really think that any other relationship could ever compare? It's not an exaggeration when they say,
No bond is closer than an Aes Sedai and Hawada. Not husbands and wives. Not parents and children.
with this, friend, I end my tale for the night. As you go forth in your journey with the Sisters of the White Tower, remember the bond they bear, its gifts and its costs. And I promise you, the story will take on new depth and meaning. For now, friend, I bid farewell. More stories call to be collected. I will be back soon enough. If you would be so kind enough to offer this humble storyteller any donation of likes, comments, and subscribes, he can be back with more stories. Bring your friends to sit around the fire next time.